Today is our full day here in Kakunodate. I didn't sleep too well last night, not really sure why. I fell asleep at 9ish, I would say. I was in the middle of downloading my memory card to my computer and was lying in bed doing that, and then just fell asleep and woke up at about 1 in the morning and looked outside because our beds just overlook out into the wilderness, really. And it was snowing like crazy out there, and so I went to grab my camera and then realized that I was still in the middle of downloading the memory card and whatnot. So I finished that up, got that into the camera, and went up, got out of bed to go try and film the snow a little bit, and it stopped snowing by the time I got all that done. But it started again, and then I got out of bed, and then it kind of stopped, and I played cat and mouse with the snow for a little bit, and then just said screw it, and tried to get some more sleep. And woke up this morning at about 5 o'clock, I would say, laid in bed for a bit, and then got up and enjoyed the onsen here. We have a private open air onsen in this room, as you saw yesterday, and Nicole got up and joined me. We got into the onsen, opened up the windows, and it started snowing again, and we just sat there as the light started to come up. Another amazing way to start the day. Today we're going to go into Kakunodate, where we came in yesterday. Where the ryokan actually is, sort of out of the way. It's in the middle of nowhere. I think it was about a 20-minute drive from Kakunodate station. So they're going to drop us off there. We're going to check out the town a little bit and then come back here and probably just relax this afternoon. We're heading out tomorrow. So we're going to just enjoy this place. This place is really amazing. It's a really nice place to come and kind of relax and recharge and whatnot. So we're going to do that. Right now we're just getting ready to go down for breakfast. Breakfast is at 8. It's about 7:47 right now. And we're going to go down there, eat, and then I think 10 o'clock, 10:15 is the shuttle where they'll take us into town. So we will show you breakfast when it comes. I'm really looking forward to that because I'm starving.
I am so happy at this place. It's so on point. The service is just impeccable, and I'm so impressed. I can't wait to tuck into our breakfast. The varieties are pretty amazing for a morning meal.
Wow, that was an amazing breakfast, and I was done, and I was just watching Nicole finish up her food, having her big bowl of rice I got her, and I thought we were done, but they brought us some more food. Pretty shocking, because I am stuffed, but this looks interesting. Some fruit in some kind of white gelatinous type of thing.
Ooh.
Maybe it's like rice or something, ground up rice. I don't know. And some green tea. This place also provides a tea set like the place in Noboribetsu. They provide you with coffee. This is tea. A tea scoop. In this box is the coffee creamer and sugar. I am going to make a coffee after breakfast. You've seen the creamer and sugar, I'm sure, before. There's nothing too fancy about that, but I thought this was really neat. Their tea spoons are in the shape of cherry blossom. So they gave us a map of the ryokan complex here, and thought I'd give you a quick look at that. It's pretty interesting how they've laid it out. So here's the front entrance, the front gate where they brought us in yesterday, and this is the open walkway into the main entrance. And it looks like we sat right about here when we had our matcha and like our welcoming matcha and sweets. And then they took us in through here, down this walkway, through this hallway to here. And this is our room. And yesterday we had the open air bath reservation for the afternoon, and that's over here. And then dinner is here in the dining rooms. And this is the lounge and a big tatami room. And we'll look at the shrine. There's a shrine out there with a torii. It's the Shrine of Fated Meetings, it says here, which I'm not quite sure what that means, but maybe we'll find out. It's a really beautiful place and really interestingly laid out. You can see in between all the rooms is this moss garden. And there's various gardens around the complex. So we had breakfast this morning right here. And this is the white sand garden when there's the stone lantern that we saw out of our room. And we must have had dinner in this room last night, overlooking this little garden. Really cool. The main reason why we came to Kakunodate, other than the amazing ryokan that Nicole found, is because they have a bunch of old samurai homes that are still intact and apparently are some of the best in the country. And some of them are open. There's 6 of them that are still open to the public, and you can go in and see, and a few of them have museums within. And also Kakunodate has a merchant area. So they had divided the city up into different areas. They had the samurai area, the merchant area, and I think they had an area more for commoners. And the building that we're in now is owned by a family that lived in Kakunodate since the early 1700s, and they were a landlord family. So they rented out property. Their rent was paid to them in rice. And in order to deal with all this rice they were getting, I guess they started to make soya sauce and miso. And they still do that today. And they have a store here where you can sample the different soya sauces and misos and pickles, and also purchase to take home with you. Their Kakunodate had a lot of fires and that burnt down many homes because they just used wood and paper construction. And so this particular building that we're in dates from the 1800s, where they decided to start building with brick. And there are a few features in the house that were made in a way to try and prevent fire. So the doors into this room that we're currently sitting are really super thick, and there's some shutters on windows that are also equally thick to try and prevent fire from spreading either maybe into the house or out of the house. And the room that we're in right now is a bunch of guest rooms with sliding screen doors that they can be opened and closed to reconfigure the space. And it's really beautiful. The screens are really amazing. I'll give you a look around, and there's a painting in one corner and a box of arrows, and there's an area with pictures of a young couple, and it looks like it's from their wedding, and we're not sure who they are. Obviously someone from the family. And it looked like some of the pictures were from the room that we're in. They were having maybe their reception in here. So far Kakunodate is proving to be very beautiful and very interesting. Here's the room I was just talking about. And these big, huge doors opening into the room. And you can see how incredibly thick they are. The door starts here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers to it. And it's interesting how it's staggered so that it can open and close into the similarly cut door jamb.
This place is so awesome. I love the exhibit, and then it's all free, and then after you're done looking at the exhibit, she was like out there waiting for us, and as soon as she saw me, she ushered me into the sample room and was like, try everything.
That's really good.
It's wonderful. Okay, this is, I guess, one of the teas they're selling. Oh god.
Hot?
Yeah, so your standard roasted green tea, very nice. This is the miso soup. This doesn't smell like the freebie they give you when you go to the local Japanese buffet restaurants. Ah, that's nice. Here you ever go.
No, you just keep going.
And then the last one, I think it's another. Whoa, mushroom tea, I think. But really strong mushroom tea.
Excellent. All right, I'll try one of these pickles. I'll try 2 of them. 2 of them look pretty interesting. This is like a standard daikon. It's very crunchy, as you can probably hear, and the pickling flavor is very mild. And this one, I'm gonna guess, is maybe mushroom.
No, I think cucumber.
Yeah, I don't think it's mushroom.
Definitely. I've never heard of mushroom crunch like that before.
Also very crunchy. Also very mild in pickling.
I like the miso soup a lot.
Yeah.
You can definitely taste quality in here. Quality and tradition.
Let's finish these samples up and then go do some damage on the visa.
Oh dear.
Clearly is the shop, and there's tons of samples. You can try everything, and Nicole's already picked out a soya sauce.
That's really good.
Yeah.
You can use that salad dressing.
We're done in there. 2 bottles of soya sauce and a sesame sauce. Really good stuff. The miso was pretty good, but I think the soya sauce was more exceptional. And this place was called the Ando House. Let me see if I can get a better view from across the street here. The snow is still coming down a little bit. It's the Ando House. You can see the brick part that they built for fire prevention. And there are the shutters similar to the door inside. Really thick. And that was a successful first stop on our walking tour today.
there's a sign there too.
Nicole, this is the water used in distilling the miso and soy sauce.
Cool.
Feel free to try it. It says right on the wall, you can try it.
I'm okay.
No, you should try it. You're not very adventurous, are you?
No. No public water for me.
Tasting all that soy sauce and miso made me hungry. And luckily there's a family mart right beside Ando House. So, I decided to get a bun. It's a bit of a mystery bun. I'm not sure what kind it is. I was trying to get a pizza bun, but they ran out. So a nice steaming bun.
Wow, good steam coming out of that thing.
This sure is mystery. I have no idea. I think there's pork, onions, and I think there's cheese in here. But I can't place the actual sauce flavor. It's good. I haven't been disappointed by a bun here yet.
Clearly.
Yes. And I'm going to wash it down with a Premium Boss Limited. We've been walking around a few small streets in Kakunodate, and I really like this town. It feels like a really small town. Well, really small in comparison to the other places we've been so far. And we really enjoy walking down some of the smaller streets off where the touristy traps are and sort of seeing how the locals shop or live. And we are now heading to the touristy trap area where the samurai houses are. And it's always really interesting to get it off of that path and sort of get onto the local path. And the weather sort of turned a little bit better. It was snowing quite a lot when we first came in, and it stopped, but it's threatening to start up again. I think we want to turn right up here, and then we'd be heading towards the samurai houses, the samurai district. There's pictures, we've seen pictures of it during cherry blossom season. It looks beautiful. Like tons of these trees that sort of arch out over the street are covered in cherry blossoms. And we've just missed the fall foliage, it looks like. Most of the trees are bare, so if we were here a bit earlier, it might have been neat to see the leaves changing, but it's still very beautiful. The old pines towering up. Here's what I'm seeing. This is the start of the street with the samurai houses. Nicole was just wondering why they put these boards on the side of the building. And I'm guessing that it's maybe for this winter to help keep the snow off. But I'm not 100%. This one has a really nice looking Japanese garden, and it looks like they've winterized it. You can see they put boards up over a tree here. And they've tied up some of the other trees. Everyone's getting ready for winter. I said it was threatening to snow, I didn't think it would actually start up like it did. It really started to come down, and we are hunting for a specific samurai house which has a museum in it, and our ryokan includes free admission to it. So we're going to try and find that one. I think it might be this one.
This is the Ando place again.
This is another location of Ando House or Ando Brewery. Let's find the museum. So we found the samurai museum that we were looking for, and it's in an old samurai house. So it looks like it's kind of a grounds. There's a lot of buildings to visit on the pathway here, and this house belongs to the Aoyagi family, which dates back to the 16th century. So we're going to take a walk around, and we'll show you things that we see that look really interesting.
Can you do it?
Holy. Well, this thing could do some damage. Wow.
It's cool that they let you actually, even if it's in a glass case, they still let you lift it and touch it.
Yeah, and there's a samurai sword here. We can also do the same.
Go on, get some zombies.
Whoa, it's really heavy. Surprisingly heavy, actually. I feel like this is heavier than that big long staff. Wow. That's awesome.
Let me have a go before people come.
Whoa.
This is the first time I think we've ever been to a museum where we're allowed to handle a sword.
Yeah, I would agree.
I guess there's been some accidents in the past.
Yes. Nicole's referring to this foam pad that got added to the case. And you can see all the dots from the tip of the sword.
Very cool.
Very cool. There's a fireproofing door here. This room, which showcases a bunch of weapons and armor that Aoyagi collected, used to be used for storing rice. But I guess they wanted to protect their rice at all costs. I think this is my favorite helmet, with these huge horns and this kind of demon-looking face.
I can't imagine riding into battle, but riding into battle with that on my head, I don't think so.
That's my favorite helmet that I've seen here so far. There's a few more behind me, maybe they'll top it, but that one's awesome. They have a really impressive array of samurai armor here. This is really amazing to see these old samurai armors on display. And there's also a whole bunch of swords, intact swords, and just the metal parts of various weapons. Some arrows. Yeah, really impressive display here.
One of the really interesting things I like in this museum are these, I'm not quite sure what they are, but if you look at the pattern, they're so intricate and they're so precise. And this is done by hand before they had computers to measure everything exact. And if you look at the details, everything's symmetrical and perfect. Talent and skill.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Yeah. the skill that went into them.
So you were saying that we have seen other places with more samurai armor?
We have. When we've gone to visit some of the national castles in Japan in the past, they've had more, they've had larger exhibits of samurai gear. But this is very impressive for such a small house.
Yeah. And that goes to show how bad my memory is. So this case has a samurai armor on its own, and that's because this is a family heirloom. As with everything else in this case, the white flag in the back there dates from the Kamakura period, which was from 1185 to 1333. These scrolls are of Aoyagi Tomokichi and his wife, and he is the last head of the family who had a kanmaj, which is that traditional haircut you can see. But there's a few blades in here and a few swords. Quite a few heirlooms. There's a bunch of samurai sword blade guards here. I think they're called blade guards. They prevent your hand from sliding onto the blade. Below us is where we were looking at the samurai armor. So we're up here, sort of in the roof, in the rafters. It's nice and warm up here, and the rafters are low. It's a really cool house. It's really awesome that they opened it up and let the public come in and take a look at all this stuff.
That's a low beam.
A low beam and very steep stairs. It's more like a ladder. Well, the samurai were warriors that served either a daimyo, which is a feudal lord, or the shogun, which was the overlord. He ruled everything, and they were usually paid either a salary or land. And from the looks of the grounds here, this family was given quite a bit of land for their services. And the building we were just in was the armory, which makes sense given all the weapons that were in there. It's a very beautiful grounds back here. Some really big trees. It's an old map of Japan, which interestingly does not include Hokkaido, because back then they were not living on the island. This building that we've come into, the top couple floors have a lot more modern things on display. There are some artifacts from World War II, and there's a whole collection of records up here. And some of them, quite recent, have been signed to the family, and all these records have been collected by the family. It makes me wonder, what does the family do today? Like, I wonder, they must obviously are still active in some way. So I wonder what they're up to. I'll have to try and find out. A little pond with big fish. So we just finished in that other building with some of the modern stuff. And now we're heading to the next building over a pond. There's a little bridge here. And I'm not quite sure why they put the wood here. But hiding under the wood over here is this huge fish. Huge carp or huge koi. Can't tell. It's a really beautiful garden. We say that a lot in Japan, don't we? Everything's really beautiful. I really like the walls that they put up around their land with the little gates as the entranceways. What's next?
I was reading about the cherry trees that line this area. There's 152 of them, and they were brought in from Kyoto about over 200 years ago. And they use the cherry bark to make all sorts of handicrafts for this area. So you would find it in like chopsticks, spoons, different seals. And our hotel actually gave us a set of bookmarks made from them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting that all the cherry trees here were designated as a precious natural monument by the national government in '74. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, very pretty.
So we're just finishing up the museum here, and it's been a really good visit. It's funny because yesterday we told the guy at the ryokan what we were planning to do, like drop us off here. We're going to walk up here, look at the merchant houses and the samurai houses and whatnot, and will give us 4 hours. And he sort of was like, okay, I think you could do it in way less time. If you have 4 hours and have lunch, you had tons of time. But it's almost time to be picked up, and I don't think we've seen all the samurai houses, and we've been here for quite a while. There's a lot to do and see here. So if you're in the area, definitely come check out Aoyagi Museum here. It's really impressive how much land they have and all the buildings, and I think the armory was my favorite. But right beside me here is a float, which I guess they must pull out for a matsuri, a festival, because they have festivals here in Kakunodate. I think there's a cherry blossom festival. I wonder if they drag this around during the festival, because that seems to be a thing they do here in Japan. So we're going to go find our pickup and head back and do some onsenning.
This is the fanciest gate in the whole street. That means that this family was the most important samurai family, because you needed special permission to build an elaborate gate. So the more elaborate your gate is, the higher standing you are in the community.
And this is a pretty fancy looking gate.
Very.
We're back at the ryokan, and the drive-in was really scenic. The clouds had lifted and it stopped snowing, and you could really see the mountains off in the distance. And I didn't realize how mountainous this area was. Yet when we came in after the train, it was also quite cloudy, and you couldn't see the mountains. So it was really good to get that glimpse of them today. And I asked the guy who picked us up, I should know his name. He didn't introduce himself, but this is the same gentleman that picked us up from the train station. He seems to be the one that speaks English here, and he speaks English quite well. So I asked him, like, what happened to the Aoyagi family? That was the samurai museum we were at, and I was wondering, what does the family do today? And he said that they're extinct. He points at there's one of the families still has descendants living in the samurai house on that street, but this particular one, there's no living descendants left. He said about 50 years ago the last descendant had passed away. So that one, I guess, is run, I don't know, maybe by the city. Maybe they left the houses and the grounds to the city. So that's bit sad and a bit shocking. I wasn't expecting that answer, to be honest. But we are back in the ryokan and we are about to go onsen and relax this afternoon. Looking forward to dinner, and we will see you at dinner, I guess.
Let's see if we can hear the crunch of this one on camera. This is deep fried bean curd.
Another amazing dinner here at our ryokan, which we've been mispronouncing. It's actually ryokan. We are having to pack up tomorrow. We're leaving this amazing place. We don't want to go as usual. We've been having really good luck on this trip so far. Every place we end up going, we don't want to leave because we always have such a good time, and this has been no different. But we have to move on. We're going to Sendai tomorrow. So one more ryokan breakfast, another soak in the onsen here, and we'll be off relatively, well, not early. We'll be off by 11 tomorrow. You're ready for bed?
Yes, somebody here is ready for bed, and that somebody is me.
And it's only 8:41.
Shh, don't tell people, it's embarrassing.
All right, we will see you tomorrow. Good night.